Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mike Colleen at MikeColleen.com. It's been gone from YouTube for a long time. I've been doing Instagram. My Instagram account, just so you know, is it's Mike Colleen, MikeKollinMGK. So if you want to start following me on that, I do give a lot of information out on that also. Okay, in little 60-second clips, but okay, so tonight something happened and kind of wanted to, it's just a very typical thing that men go through and they don't even know it. So let me kind of go from there. Actually, it's a little blurry tonight. All right, so here's what's going on. I was talking to some friends of mine. They just got off of work. We're hanging out front. And one of them guys, Manny, he goes, Mike, what exactly do you do? He thought it was something over here, and I'm like, oh man, I go, that's just a sliver of what I do. I go do a huge whole array. In fact, let me give it to you guys right now. And ladies, I've already changed my website. I have a new website coming up. It's about, the theme is going to be why men just don't get it. The easy answer is men and women are neurologically wired differently for romance, love, receiving emotional fulfillment, communication, understanding, etc. We're wired in the opposite way. So this is going to be a good example of what I'm talking about. So here's what my course can do for men. It can teach you how to understand women. In fact, this is how the conversation, oh, Mike, no one can understand women. Like, I go, if you take my course, you'll understand women a lot better. So, sorry, excuse me. So that's a very typical response from men, because to men, women are just like, they don't make any sense. They're all over the place. They're like, but the thing is, you can have a much, much greater understanding. And if you learn how to speak the right brain, the female language, all of a sudden understanding women, it's like speaking their language, because it is speaking their language, literally. So where do I start? So number one, if you're a single guy, you will learn how to meet women. And now there's what I teach in this course is a very comfortable way to approach women. There's no rush, there's no hurry, there's no pressure. Okay, that's one thing the pickup artist course just teaches you. It's, what is it, the 3-second rule or 5-second rule? If you see a girl, like, you got to approach her. That's very linear. It's very push energy, and you'll close her up with that energy, and you'll push her away. My course does something completely opposite. You take your time, you tune into the environment, you see what's going on, and you're aware. Her mating system is looking for an aware male. Ask a woman that. She'll say, yeah, we like aware men much better than oblivious men. So the 5-second rule tells her you're oblivious. You're not aware. You're not coming from a place of awareness. This is also for married men. The sad part about it is the average client I get, the majority client, are men who've been married at least twice, maybe even 3 times, and they just got divorced again. Majority of my clients just got divorced the second time, okay? Sorry, I didn't mean to anchor that in there. But that's just the fact. That's the customers I get. And when men take my course, they will say, well, why don't all the other teachers, the love and relationship experts, et cetera, why aren't they teaching what you're teaching? Because they're not aware of it. I'm teaching something very new, okay? I'll give you an example today. I was on the phone with a Shopify lady, and she's about to get married. And we were talking through some stuff. She goes, oh, God, he's so analytical. It's like he just doesn't get it. And I'm laughing. I go, that's funny. I go, look at my website. She goes, oh, wow. It literally says why men just don't get it. And I go, we are wired differently. So when you say communicate, he's doing the logical male brain thing, okay? By the way, I don't know if this camera reverses it or does it straight forward, but this is my left hand. I don't know if it's doing that in the video, if it's going to flip it. This is my right hand. So this is left brain, this is right brain, okay? So I was talking about how when you say something out of your right brain, he's going to process it through the left brain, and that changes the meaning of the same words, because this is the logical processor. This is the non-logical, emotional 5 senses. This literally is like a filter that processes words through see, hear, feel, smell, and taste. This is a filter that processes through logic. So there's no feelings here, but there's feelings over here, all right? So let me give you an example of what happened today, all right? This is very important. All right, and by the way, since I haven't said it yet, we have a training going on. This is official. This is a full core training for men, and it starts this Monday, July 17th. I know this is kind of late, but I've been advertising in all these other places, so I figured I'd put it down here. This is a 5-day training. We're going to do 2 sessions a day. They end up being 3+ hours each, so we're going to be doing 6 hours a day, okay? maybe a little more, like I said. Um, Go to my website, Mike Colleen at MikeColleen.com, and I'll put the link down in the description, so it'll take you right to the buy button. It'll tell you what's in the course and where, what time, how much, all that stuff. Okay. Oh, and by the way, it's a massive discount. Normally I charge $5,000. I'm doing a huge chunk off of that, so you're gonna have to actually go to the link and find out what it is. All right, so um, I'm talking to the guys when they just got off work, and so Manny finally goes, "You know, like what exactly do you do now?" Manny's actually, I think he has a kid, he's married, and because he's having problems, I'm like, "Well, I teach men how to communicate with women." He goes, "Yeah, you said that before. What does that mean?" He thought I meant foreigners from other countries. I'm like, "Well, it could be that." And actually, lately, it's actually been a lot of men flying in from other countries, such as London, Ireland. I got a guy I did a session with from Japan. We did a phone session. So yeah, it can be foreigners, but it's not what he was thinking. So let's go here. Here's where we're at. I go, you know how I go, the female brain needs more description. You have to describe things more in detail. And he kind of looks at me. And I go, have you ever came home one day and she says, well, how was your day? And she said, oh, it was fine. It was good. You know, I'm a little tired, but I'm fine. He goes, yeah. I go, and she's like, well, how was it? And you say, well, it was fine. And you go, well, yeah, but, tell me, how was it? He goes, I just did. It was fine. And then I go, and then she's like, why won't you tell me how your day was? I don't understand. And Manny starts to laugh. He goes, man, we just had this problem last night. He goes, she does this all the time. Now, they were seeing a therapist for a while. He goes, but it wasn't helping. He goes, she doesn't trust me. And you go, well, there's a reason why she doesn't trust you. Is because this is going to take a bit of listening here, guys and gals. So here's what was going on. I go, you got to understand, the way men communicate is an incomplete sentence to a woman. It's incomplete communication. So she's like, well, what does that mean? And he goes, yeah, she says that all the time. Well, what does that mean? Why won't you tell me? And he's like, I just did. So here's what I explained to the guys. I go, look, here's what's going on. The visual cortex is in the back. So for men, we have a larger, more developed visual cortex because we had to hunt and fight wars. So you couldn't yell at a deer and go, the deer's, or to your buddy, like, the deer's over there. Well, the deer's going to hear you and get scared, and it's going to run away. So you're going to go home hungry, and your family starves for that night. So we had to develop a highly visual system to where we could look at each other and nod, and we know exactly what that means. Guys, women can't do that. They don't have the same visual cortex. But what women do have, and this is important, is a much more developed right brain communication processor. And remember, it processes through the five senses, not through logic. So we'll get to that in a second, why that's important. So the visual cortex for men was highly developed because when we fought a war, we couldn't, if we were like sneaking up on the enemy or something, we couldn't just scream out because we would give ourselves away, and now we're in danger. So we had to be able to look, nod, and maybe make a hand gesture or two, and that's complete communication between men. Now, to women, well, that's not communication at all. So that's one of the reasons why men and women, our communication goes like this. The other reason is we are literally speaking two completely different languages. There's the male external language, which literally is a linear line. It goes in a line, very narrow, not wide, very narrow. And it's 1, 2, 3, step 1, step 2, step 3. It's a very simple language. Again, her right brain cannot understand this. All right. So, and I'll get more into why and how and what if. Okay, we're going to put some pieces together for just this one thing. Okay, and if you learn how to speak the right brain language, it's called the internal language, which goes this way, not that way, like the male language. It's internal versus external. I'll explain that a little bit. Her mating system is connected to her right brain, which is where her communication system processes. Her mating system is literally connected to her communication processor. So if you learn the right brain's language, it triggers her mating system, just like that. And it melts her heart and it makes her happy. All right? So let's get back to the stories, all right, to understand this. So Manny was saying, yeah, when I come home, she always gets pissed off at me. So we started going to therapy, and she says she doesn't trust me. I'm like, well, it's because communication. The male language is incomplete. Thus, her right brain goes, why wouldn't he tell me? Is there something wrong? Well, why won't he tell me what's going on? It must be, is he lying? Is he not telling me the truth? And there's a trust issue begins to build because of lack of communication. She literally can't understand you. So the way, okay, let me say this piece and I'll say that piece. So here's the visual cortex, okay? So because of hunting and war reasons, we had to develop what's called a bigger visual cortex. Now, this is a phrase you've heard. A picture says 1,000 words, right? That's a male phrase. So when a man walks in, we see him and his movements unconsciously. We're not even aware of it because we've been doing it since we were born. We don't know. And it's like, how was your day? Man, it was great, or it was fine. It was cool. That little bit of words and then the visual impacts us and we have a feeling. So now we have a sense of what he's feeling. So, oh, cool, he feels good. We could tell, right? A woman cannot do that. Now, a lot of you guys are going like, what are you talking about? Well, here's how a woman understands. Think of a puzzle. So you got a puzzle, right? You got 300 pieces, 700 piece puzzle, whatever. So a woman takes one piece of the puzzle and she describes in detail what's on it, right? And I'll give you an example in a second. And then she describes the next one in detail, and then she connects the two. And the next one, describe, and then she puts pieces of the puzzle together. The female brain understands and gets an emotional feeling through what's called descriptive languaging, which men don't do. We're direct, we're to the point. How was your day? It was great. Here's a good example. Let's say a truck, okay? A guy will say, I bought a brand new truck, or I bought an awesome truck. His wife or girlfriend will say, yeah, he bought a big, bright, shiny, powerful 4x4 pickup Toyota truck. So describe truck. It's that simple. So instead of saying, oh man, this apple pie is delicious, you say, man, this apple pie is so delicious. It's rich and creamy and smooth. And it has just like a really nice light sweetness to it that's not too much. Light, rich, sweetness, fluffy, whatever. Describe. So all you're doing, guys, it's real simple. You're describing the 5 senses. So if it's a flavor, describe the damn flavor. Obviously, since it's a cake, you can see it too. If it's warm, if it's hot, you want to describe that. The temperature. Is it medium warm? See, the more descriptive, if you go, well, it was lukewarm. Well, lukewarm is a little bit more descriptive, so those 2 words. In general, I say give 3 descriptive words to everything you're trying to describe, 3 to 5. The more you describe it, the more she understands. And that's what brings clarity in communication. You don't believe me? Have your wife or girlfriend watch the video up to this point and see what she says. Guarantee you she's going to be like, yeah, you mean men don't know this? You had to watch this video? Because to women, it's so natural because the right brain is their home. They're born using it. And they're like, that's why men don't do it? No. But men, the left brain is your home. One thing I got to put in there, though, is the women are left and right brain because they have more nerves in the corpus callosum and they have more neurological connections. So they go left, right. Okay, so let me describe this a little bit more in detail so you understand what's going on. So when you come home and she says, how was your day? And you say, fine, all the guys in the room are like, they feel that because of the visual cortex and they hear what you say. So the left brain is designed to say a short phrase or maybe a sentence if you're lucky. The right brain is designed to describe, to go at least 1, 2, 3, or 4 paragraphs. So when a woman comes home, she said, oh, it was great, man. We have this new customer today. He was this really tall white guy. He had blonde hair, but he's clean cut, really good looking guy, square jaw, broad shoulder. And she will describe it in freaking detail. And most guys are just like, dude, I didn't want a description. Was it good? Was it bad? Was it horrible? Was it average? That's all I want, right? Now, the thing with women, the reason why they're like, why? Is because to her, she's like, how could you possibly understand that? Now watch this, guys. Here's what she really wants from you. She wants to get the same thing that you as men get when someone talks, that feeling, that experience. Here's a phrase I came up with. In order for a woman to understand you, she has to have an emotional experience of what you're saying. Well, men get an emotional experience because A picture says 1,000 words. So when a guy walks in the room, there's the picture. And we're getting movement. So it's more like a movie. So there's a lot of information coming at us. We can tell if he's in a good or bad mood. A woman can't. And on top of that, he tells us it was good, bad, fine, okay, medium, mediocre, awesome, powerful, explosive, wonderful, amazing. They'll give you one of those words or phrases, and I'm like, cool. Because remember, the male brain, A means A. That's it. But the way the female brain works, remember, she's left-hand brain. She might say A, but there's a lot of times when it doesn't mean A at all. A means something other than A. It actually means B, and I'll make another video for that. It's another freaking video. But for now, a lot of women like, you mean men don't do that? Like, not only do they not do that, but when you do, because women don't do it all the time, but they do it 50+% of the time. They're like, I go, not only do men not do that, but when you do it, if you say it's okay, he hears you say it's okay. Now here's why, ladies. The left brain only processes words. That's it. Now, what did we learn in NLP about words? Words are only 7% of communication. So what is the rest of communication? 93% of communication is tonality, so tone, speed, tempo, rhythm, body language, facial expression, crossing your arms, this kind of stuff. So I'll give you a real life example. So I was at the bookstore. I was in the relationship dating section looking for, just looking for a good book, and next to it was the personal development, and a girl was in there. She gets curious. She goes, "What are you in that section for?" I'm like, "Well, I'm actually a male to female communication expert, and I specialize in communication between men and women. So, dating and relationships and, etc." She goes, "Oh, wow, okay, cool." That's like, "What do you mean?" And I go, "Well, have you ever had a time when you said A, but you didn't mean A, you really meant B, but your boyfriend or husband thought you literally meant, like, we're literal?" And she goes, "Yeah, all the time. He always takes everything so literal." On the phone with a Shopify lady today. She sounded like she's about 38, 39, something like that. She's about to get married in the next 6 months, I think she said. When I brought that up, she goes, "Yeah." She goes, "He is so literal. Literal. Everything I say, he takes it at face value." And I go, "Stop. Yes. The left brain, the male brain, even when a woman is in her left brain, because remember, women are left and right. Even when a woman's in this brain, A means A. And guys, there's a way to tell whether she's in the left brain or the right brain. So now that's one piece on how to know. Well, how do you know when she's being direct and not direct? How do you know when she means A or when she doesn't mean A but means something else? It's all part of the course. But for now, we're going to stick to this. So the girl, sorry, it's a cord right here. So the girl at the bookstore is like, "All the time, he takes it so literal, How come he doesn't understand me?" Now, you guys, you got to understand, women in their world, they're like, "I literally just told him what I meant." And the guy's like, "No, you didn't. You said this." And she goes, "But I didn't mean that." And that's when guys are like, "Oh, women are nuts. You guys are freaking nuts." But here's the thing, guys. Watch this. So her boyfriend walks up and goes, "Well, what's going on?" And she goes, "Hey, this is Mike. He's a dating relationship coach. He specializes in communication." He goes, "Oh, okay. Nice to meet you, man. That's cool." And so he starts talking. She goes, "No, I want you to listen to what this guy's saying." And he's like, "Well, what?" And I said, "Well, have you ever, have women process in what I call double pictures? They say A, but sometimes they mean B." Right there, he goes, "Yeah, I know. She does that to me all the time. She'll say A, and then later on get mad at me and say, 'Well, I meant something else.'" And he goes, "I'm so sick and tired of it. It's just it's insane." And women, guys think you're nuts when you do that, because men don't know how to do that. But here's the thing, guys. When you learn how to do that, it gives you social power. It gives you power in business. It gives you influence and sales power too, okay? So he talks to me. I go, "Well, like, what do you mean?" I go, "Well, what happened?" He goes, "Well, recently?" I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "Well, okay, a couple of weeks ago, I asked her if I could go to the concert." Well, they were still kind of fighting about this. This is why I brought it up. And he goes, "And she said you could go." She goes, "No, I didn't." And he goes, "Yes, you did." Now, we're in the bookstore, and these people, they're about young, about 29, 30 years old. And they're not too loud, but I'm kind of like, okay, And I'm kind of laughing because I can see why they don't understand each other. And he goes, "I came to you and I said, 'Can I go to the concert?' And you said, 'Sure, if you want to.'" And I go, "Okay." And then I looked at her. She goes, "No." And this is what she did. She goes, "No." And she crosses her arm right there. She goes, "I said," so this is one barrier. This is two barriers. And she's kind of looking down, and she squints her eyes. This is 3. Even this is kind of looking like this, like down. That's 4. And then listen to the tone, the way she says it. Sure, if you want to. Now there's another barrier saying no. No, 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 no. And then the tone. Sure, if you want to. She said no in 7 different ways. Now, ladies, remember, the male brain only processes words, literally. You said sure if you want to. The male brain goes, she said sure if you want to. Now, women, you're thinking, oh, he's being a smartass. No, I'm telling you, men are not. They literally take what you say as to at face value, and that's what I told the Shopify lady. Yeah, that's what the left brain does. It takes it at face value. The reason why I'm emphasizing this so much is because when I'm talking to a man or to a woman, men are like, oh, women don't do that. I hear it all the time. Ladies, believe it or not, but I talk to very educated men who sit there, oh, women don't do that. They don't say A but mean B. I go, not all the time. I agree. But a lot of time, and in social situations, you don't walk up to someone you know or don't know and say, you're fat. You need to lose weight. You need to go to the gym. That would be the direct way of helping someone as a man. Well, I was just trying to help her. And it's like, you just walked up to her and told her she's fat in public, dude, in front of her friends or in front of strangers. In a woman's world, that would be considered rude. But to a man, what the hell are you so pissed off about? I'm just trying to be kind. I'm trying to motivate her. I'm trying to help her. And women are looking at you just going, seriously, dude? So this is an example of how men and women don't communicate on the same page. Now, let me give you another one. This is a good one. 2 more. So as I was telling this story to a client, he looks at me and goes, oh my God, he goes, this makes a lot of sense. I go, and he was a former cop who is now a psychologist. And he goes, that makes a lot of sense. And I'm like, well, I go, well, what do you mean? He goes, you're from Napa Valley. I'm like, yeah. He goes, remember Napa Bowl? I'm like, yeah, it's still there. He goes, yeah. He goes, well, me and my girlfriend, we went to go shoot pool, like at the pool table, not bowling, right? I'm like, yeah. Because you know how you can go around the side of the building and you go in that door and you can shoot pool there. I'm like, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. And he goes, well, we were going there to meet her friends. I'm like, okay. So we walk in the door, the side door, and just to the right are her friends, about 5 steps to the right. I'm like, okay. But my best friend was on the far corner, on the far table in the corner, playing pool. I go, okay. So I looked at him. He nodded. I nodded back, and I immediately turned to the right to go towards her friends because we were there to meet her, not my buddy. And she grabbed my arm and goes, hey, aren't you gonna go see how Jimmy's doing? And he goes, oh, he's doing fine. And she goes, why do you always do that? Why do you always lie to me? Now, this is the trust part I was mentioning earlier. Why do you always lie to me? And he goes, I'm not lying. What are you talking about? She goes, how could you possibly know how Jimmy's doing? And he goes, he just told me. And she's like, there you go again. You're lying. And then she goes, and her girlfriends go, really, dude? You're going to lie right in front of all of us like that? And he goes, so because I didn't go and talk to him and let him describe, she thinks I don't know what's going on. And I stopped and go, I know. When you nodded, when you did your nod, then go, and he nodded to me like this, I know exactly what he said. He goes, stay away. I got money on the game, and I'm winning. I'm focused. Because he gave him a focused look. And you could tell. I go, that's. He goes, yeah. You could tell he had money on the game, and he was winning, and he wanted me not to bother him because he was winning. He was focused. And he goes, you mean she couldn't tell that? I'm like, no. Women, and that's the thing, ladies. You have to understand. Men think they're really describing in it to other men. They are. He just told you how he felt, and we felt what he was feeling. Now, guys, remember, in order for a woman to understand you, she has to have an emotional experience of what you're saying. And the way you do that is by describing. And I was telling Maurice and Manny outside their work today. Maurice goes, yeah, it's like they want you to break it down and tell you the details. And I said, yeah, they do. He goes, why? And I explained the right brain, the pieces of the puzzle. That's the way they understand it. So when people ask me, what do? I go, I specialize in communication between men and women. Now, that little bit I gave you might have opened your eyes quite a bit, but learning how to communicate in a fluid way to where she can understand in depth is a little bit more challenging. Maybe I'll make a video on some pieces, but there's a bunch of pieces you got to fit together. If you're not doing anything this Monday, July 17th, and that's in about 4 days, I've got a course right now, massive discount. I don't know why I just decided to do it. The course is already going, it's already set up. But I thought, give everyone a good price. Give you guys a chance to show up. Is it expensive? Yeah, but it's not $5,000. It's massively discounted. Go to the link, click on it, and find out how much it costs. I'm going to give you one more story. All right. So that client of mine that was a cop and became a psychologist, he goes, oh, that makes a lot of sense. I go, what do you mean? He goes, one time my partner was a lady. We got a call saying there was a guy at the hospital with a loaded weapon. He had a handgun. I'm like, all right. So we get there. Now we're the second squad car or whatever at the scene. There's another cop already down the hallway and around the corner, hiding behind this big wheel thing where they push, clothes or food around. I go, okay, yeah. He goes, so we stopped at the corner and he's up around here and I can see past the big thing because it's blocking him and he couldn't see this way. So I could see where the other guy was hiding. So I was trying to give him hand signals. It's right around there, And the woman's like, just tell him. He goes, shut up. And so he kept trying to do it. So about the fourth or fifth time, she goes, oh, for crying out loud. He's 20 feet in front of you and over to the right about 2.5 feet at the blah, blah, blah. He's right in front of the thing that you're hiding behind. And they're like, oh, what the? Like she just gave away not only his position, but their position too by her voice. And he goes, when we got back, the chief ripped her a new one. And to this day, she can't understand why they got pissed off. Like she goes, why don't you just tell him? Sometimes, ladies, you can't. You've got to be subtle. Here's the thing. The way men are subtle is different than the way women are subtle. Women will talk and be subtle within the conversation. Ladies, men don't understand that. And guys, women don't understand this, I'm fine. So when you come home from work and she says, how was your day? Yes, she wants you to break it down. She wants you to explain what happened, or at least some parts of it, and then give her the details of that. This is Mike Colleen. Go to my website, Mike Colleen, MikeKollin.com. I'll see you soon. This course is to save your marriage, to enhance your marriage. I mean, guys, her mating system is connected to her right brain's communication processor. It turns her on sexually is what I'm trying to say. It brings pleasure. It brings laughter. It brings fun. And on top of that, you're going to be on the same freaking page. You're actually going to be speaking the same language, just like if you go to Mexico and speak Spanish. They're going to understand you. It's all the headaches that you're having, all the yelling and screaming and arguing. It's because she's not getting one thing. It's called emotional fulfillment. You give her emotional fulfillment, you're going to have a happy wife, and you're going to have a happy life. This is Mike Colleen at MikeKollin.com. MikeKollin.com. I'll see you soon.